Hi everyone. Today it's 12:30 a.m. in middle of the night. After recording this video, I'm gonna go to sleep, but because I haven't recorded a video today, I have to. So, I want to talk about this book today, Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. Basically, in this book, Malcolm Gladwell talks about why no, he doesn't particularly talk about anything. He talks about some things to explain an event of Sandra, an event which is the arrest of Sandra Bland and her deading herself in her jail cell. So, what he talks about is you can't understand people, you can understand what their head is going on, like what's inside of their head. Because I'm sleepy, I'm just slurping my words. Fuck. Because you cannot understand people exactly by assessing their outside actions. But that is the only way you can assess them, by what they're doing. This isn't particularly like 100% true, it's only true to some degree. A person who isn't flinching when he is saying something does not particularly say the truth, isn't particularly saying the truth. He thinks maybe he's a good liar. Because when we're lying, usually people tend to get tend to give away some cues about their inside. But there can be people who can mask it really well, then we won't be able to understand what's going on inside their head. That's the problem. The problem is when the inside and the outside don't match. Then we cannot understand what is going on inside of a person by looking at their outside behavior. And then we judge them based on their outside behavior, and we fail basically because we didn't know it. Also, it talks about, let me see. Fuck this. I want to talk about relationships and the comfort of having someone. The comfort of having someone beside you, the comfort of holding them, the comfort of kissing them is much greater than when you're alone, when you don't have someone. That is why people stay in relationships. That is why people get in bed with their partner and rot in there all day, because it's comfortable, because it feels good, because it makes your body feel good, it makes your stress levels go down, it makes you feel like everything else in the world is going to be okay. And you know what? It cannot be more further than the truth, especially in any other case than your wife, than your lifelong partner. Because when your lifelong partner comes into the play, those things are solid. Those things are not momentary. Okay, maybe you could have long relationships, they could also count, but they end, and your lifelong partner ends either when you die or they die, or it doesn't even end when that happens because you're connected to them so much. But yeah, it is comfortable to be with someone, so that when they try to break up with you, or when you try to break up with them, Once you break up, it is hard for you to feel good. What do you mean? It is hard for you to feel good if you don't have anything else going on in your life. If you're not going to the gym, if you do not have a purpose, if you're not getting your validation of happiness from other things in life, then breaking up with her or her breaking up with you will cause you real damage, because you don't have anything else going for you. You don't have anything else that is good for you, that provides you with good hormones, good things basically, that being with her gives. So, how do you make it so the heartbreak doesn't hurt? The thing is, no matter no matter where you are at this point in life, there is a best move on the table. You can do the best move on the table and then do the best move on the table again, do the best move on the table again, and keep going like that. For example, let's say you get dumped, you're fat, the best move could be going to the gym, and later it could be reading, it could be listening to podcasts, like the next best move. So you do something about it, you improve. The best move on the chessboard is the concept that you ought to do what you can do best in any given moment. No matter how behind you are, no matter like how much sacrifices you made, you gotta play the best move. Because if you don't play the best move and play something insufficient compared to the best move, you will end up regretting it. The worst type of regret is that you actually knew what to do, you know the best move on the hand, yet you still didn't trust yourself enough and did something stupid. That is how, yeah, that is basically how the best move method works. Okay, let's see. We were talking about relationships. I gotta say, like 2-3 days ago, I got over. Like I ended, not me and like we ended things, or she ended, I ended. I don't know. I took my jacket and went out the door, ending things in her eye. But the last 2 days I've been feeling lonely. I gotta say, the last 2 days I've been feeling lonely. I've been feeling like I want to hold someone in my bed while laying down. I want someone to talk to. Basically, I want someone to experience my life with me, who gives me comfort. Because the world is stressful as it is, and I don't know, lately the stress from the lectures, the schoolwork, feels like an impending doom. Maybe that's because I haven't studied enough for the tests, or it could be because that I'm not strong enough. Back then I was used to be strong enough. Now I'm not strong enough to deal with that kind of stress, because I've been living a life of comfort for too long. Does that sound right? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, don't get into relationships longer than 1 month, basically, if you're not sure about moving on to the next level with that person. In a month, you will know much. Maybe you cannot know everything, but you will know much if you pay attention, listen, and pay attention again. Because paying attention is the most important thing there is. If you're not paying attention, you're letting information slip by you. Thanks for listening to me half asleep. Bye.